Hello, everybody. Hope everyone enjoyed that intro. I will have that song linked into the description of this video. But, like the title said, today we are going to be decorating one of the villagers' homes from Happy Home Paradise to be a Barbie Dreamhouse. So, this house is Bree's house, and originally I had just put everything that she wanted on the floor. And then I went back and did the remodel. This is because I wanted to create a custom design. And I wasn't sure if I was able to do it while decorating a home or not. So I just went ahead and just put everything that she wanted down and then left completely. So right there, I was trying to make those trees pink by making the area spring. However, I quickly realized that because of the location that I chose, I couldn't make those trees pink. So I went ahead and changed it back to summer because I do like the green grass better during the summer than the spring. The spring, I feel like it's way too, I guess, a neon green in a way. So yeah, I went back to summer. And then there I took away those shrubs because I thought the flowers looked better. But now looking back, I kind of like the shrubs. That's usually my go-to. Either do hedges or shrubs right in front or behind fences, so that way it creates like a dimension and it looks fuller and it looks nice. Now we are putting that path there at the entrance, which I had to settle with that oval because you can't line up a circle. So essentially I was going to get rid of those two middle pieces and just do circles leading up to the house. But again, you can't align the houses with the paths, like two square paths. You can only do it with three. So it's really frustrating, and I had to settle for that oval, which is fine. It looks fine. I think the circles would have looked way better and way nicer for Barbie, but it is what it is. Now I am putting a little poolside bed and I'm looking for that pattern, but then I realized the hot pink would probably look better, and I was right. So I changed that pattern to that pink one with the flowers, and I believe I use it inside as well. So that's a reoccurring pattern that I use for Barbie. So if you're wanting to recreate this, I highly recommend using it. And honestly, I should have used it way more. I kind of forgot about it and was just looking at the different variations of items without even thinking about using patterns. But I mean, I am pretty happy with the end result of everything. So the exterior, interior, really everything. And even the outfit that I picked for Brie, I think she looks really cute at the end. However, I will say that I might have gone overboard with the pink. And y'all will have to let me know if I did or if I didn't. Here, I'm going to start by putting down the walls and putting the simple pillars. I don't change the wallpaper and I don't change the floors till the very end. This is because I had started this build. I'm calling it a build like The Sims, I'm sorry. I actually, this is like the third time I try to remodel this this house because I wanted to get the wallpaper first and the floor just like I usually do, and I got pretty upset whenever I couldn't find a pink that I liked. So I said, you know what, this time I'm just going to build everything before, use all the furniture that I need, and then pick the wallpaper and the floor based on the furniture that I selected rather than the other way around, because it just, yeah, the wallpaper that I ended up picking out, I think it's the simple pink one, and I'm not very happy because it's not really pink. It's definitely a peach color, and I wish it was actually pink. So, but then the other ones were way too pink or didn't have white paneling and I'm talking about the floral one. There's a floral one that has like brown paneling and then it darkens the whole area. And I wanted this to be mainly light pink, hot pink, white, and blue here and there, but that's about it. Everything else, if there's color anywhere else, it's just very, very minimal. So a little bit about this floor plan is that it is divided in multiple sections. So it has a living room area, it has a foyer, a dining, a kitchen, a bathroom, and then it has a bedroom. However, I did change it up a bit from the original floor plan, which by the way is not an original floor plan by me. I actually found it through the Happy Home Paradise discover section where you can see other people's houses. So I saw that floor plan and I really, really wanted to do my own twist on it. So I used it as inspiration, but I do end up changing the bathroom because I thought that it could have been larger, and then I had a little awkward space here on the right side, so I wanted to get rid of that completely and make that the restroom. But we're gonna see that later, not right now. Right now we're going to see the kitchen, which made me realize how hard this is actually going to be, because a couple of the appliances that I usually use and like, they didn't have them in the pink swatch, so I had to use other appliances that I'm not too fond of, but it's okay because as long as it's pink, I'm happy. My criteria for the entire thing was it either has to be pink, white, or light blue. And pink, it could be any shade of pink, which there are a couple things that are labeled as red in this game. However, they are hot pink. They are not red. So I don't know why it's called red, because there's a couple things that are hot pink. But anyway, going back to this, the kitchen was a little bit tricky because I didn't want it to be like all just a one line essentially. I wanted it to have more dimensions. However, I did not know how to do this at all, so I do end up leaving it very boring and all against the wall. If I could go back, I would probably change the kitchen up a little bit. Maybe I would switch up the stove and the fridge, change spots. I know. Okay. I would have put the sink where the fridge is against the partition wall, and that way I have a counter over in the corner, and then I would just scoot over the fridge and the stove, and that way but then no, because then the villager wouldn't have a actual place to like cut things, you know. So I would have to find a different, I guess, countertop that maybe would work and put it there. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I did do I probably did the right thing to just put everything against the wall and make it like a little bit more simple. So yeah, there you go. And I believe this is how that creator had it, all against the wall. So maybe it is the right way to go. It wasn't just me. What I've really, really enjoyed about this floor plan, since we were mentioning that creator again, is that because it has so many little areas, it's very easy to decorate because you're chunking the spaces, you're chunking your work into little pieces. And so it has been delightful to decorate this compared to any other thing I've ever made before. And I'm always very, intimidated by bigger sized rooms, but this whole idea of using the partition wall and not just like dividing the room in half, that's what I usually do. I'm not huge into using these walls, and it's mainly because I don't really know how to make them look good. Like, this looks really good, and I don't think I could have ever imagined doing this if I didn't see that inspiration. So yeah, I'm very thankful that I found it. Actually, my Happy Home Paradise builds are usually very small rooms with only the required things. I don't really go above and beyond like I'm going with this one. This is just because I was inspired by a movie. I am a movie lover, so I was inspired by the Barbie movie, and I wanted to make something that was all pink and kind of like challenge myself. So I am inspired. However, whenever I'm playing the DLC, I'm not recording, I don't get very inspired, and it's mainly because of the things that they're asking for. Sometimes they absolutely 100% make sense of why the character wants something like what they're asking. So for example, Gala, she is asking for a bank because she's like a piggy bank, right? But then we have characters that are like asking for a public bathroom. I did have one of the characters ask for that, and I can't remember who it was. I was hoping that because of his attire, he would unlock the medieval castle items, and no, he did not. He unlocked all of the bathroom stuff because he wanted public bathrooms, which I found extremely odd and weird. I want to point out in this part of the build, I am putting a Barbie, and I did put a Barbie logo up on the wall. I created that Barbie logo, and it took me a long time, but I'm really happy of how that turned out. So I wanted to make sure I used it somewhere. That is the logo that I got out of the game, or got out of decorating Bree's house initially, so that I can make it and then come back and add it somewhere. So I'm glad that worked out for me, because if I didn't put it up, if I would have forgotten, I would have been really upset recording this voiceover, realizing that I never put it up. So at this moment, I am realizing that I have a lot of light pink items, but I don't have a lot of hot pink. So I try to incorporate more hot pink items around, like that cell phone or telephone. However, I do end up getting rid of it, and I put one of the old-timey phones instead because I liked it more. And here, I believe, is when I'm going to start adding random stuff and realizing that maybe, just maybe, another layout would work best, because in the original inspiration layout, the living room is in that little nook. That's the living room, and I thought it would be too small for what I wanted to do. So I thought, if I move the bathroom and made that nook, we'll give the bathroom a little bit more space, and then move the wall and give Barbie, or give Brie, a closet. That would be amazing, because if you've ever played with Barbies, you know that she has a wardrobe. Like, she has tons and tons of different outfits. So I figured that Brie would need a closet. So I am very happy with my decision of doing this. And I also liked that I am putting a twist. It's not like I completely copied the floor plan. I do end up creating a little twist of my own. So I'm very happy. I'm very glad that I did that. However, I do think that the previous floor plan was a better one, because it does have more areas incorporated in there, and it makes the the house a little bit more interesting rather than this one. I feel like this one, I made it boring again by creating a big old square over in the middle section. I do try to kind of like section off the living room area a little bit as well, so that way it doesn't feel like a massive square there. But that is in a little bit right there. I am so proud of myself. That is the first time I've ever used the rock climbing wall that way. I always see dream addresses using the rock climbing wall as like a partition wall in a way, and I've always wanted to try it, and I finally did it, and I am obsessed. And I actually like that I layered it behind an actual partition wall because it covers the rock part. So I'm very, very proud of myself. So at this moment, everything is coming together. I'm just adding the decoration pieces in the living room area or the walkway area. I already knew the big pieces that I wanted to do for the living room, or the main focal point, which would be the what are those called? The mermaid couches, and I don't put them up till a little bit later, but I wanted those to be the couches because it has a mix of all the colors that I actually wanted in this build, which were light blue and pink, which the light blue I kind of forgot to sprinkle it here and there. It's just probably that logo in the bedroom, and then the little embroidery piece in the bedroom as well. I guess there is like blue sprinkled in some places, but still not enough like I originally planned. So having the mermaid couches actually help a lot with that blue. So here I wanted to put some headphones in the build and use the logo again. I felt like I needed to use the logo, but I ended up scratching that idea because it didn't fit in at all. And then I end up just forgetting to put the logo again somewhere, which is very unfortunate because I spent a really long time creating that pixel art, which who would have known that pixel art is so hard to actually create. It took me forever to figure out how to place or where to place the little pixels in order to create a curve. And then sometimes whenever you highlight things, it doesn't do exactly what you want it to do. So I don't know, it was pretty hard. And I have been using the pixel art tool, the custom design tool, a lot for my island, which is in progress. I mentioned it before in another video, but it's going to be a Wes Anderson inspired island. And so I am doing a lot of custom designs for the different movies, and it has been really hard. I am a perfectionist, and I haven't been able to get it exactly how I want it to look. So it's been a little bit of a struggle. And speaking of pixel art, that frame right there with the house is not pixel art. It's supposed to be, I believe, like stitched. And I love it. I wish that I could do pixel art like that. So it looks like actual like pixel art. Like you see the pixels whenever you display the art. I wish we could pick and choose if we want it to kind of like look kind of soft, or if we can make it look more pixelated or not. That would be really cool. So at this moment I am deciding on a carpet or a rug, and I went with the cherry blossom one. I didn't go with the heart one, which was my original plan, but I do end up taking out the lacy rug and putting the heart rug, but I put the white one because I thought there was enough pink in the bedroom. So now I'm just rearranging the the living room and making sure I can walk. That is one thing that I really like make sure I do, is make builds where the villagers can still walk around, because I like walking around. I like it to be purposeful in a way. So I want it to look cute but also functional. I don't want them to be trapped somewhere. There are some spots in this build where you have to kind of like shimmy through things. For example, the bedroom, to get past that plant, you have to kind of like scoot past the plant, and I think that's the only really place where you have to do that. Everywhere else you can just walk right through. The original build, she had a simple panel blocking the what's that called, the bathroom, so that way it was like a door, and then she had the curtains blocking the bedroom area. I decided against putting them there because, again, I wanted to make sure my villager could just walk around freely in this build. So now I'm just putting the final details in this build, making sure everything looks cohesive, and yeah, I believe now it's time to change the lighting and change the wallpaper and flooring, putting those last details in. And so looking at this build right now, I can already tell you I wish I would have kept the cool light versus the warm light. I always go for warm light because I think it looks a little bit more natural than the cool light. However, this lighting is making my pink build look a little bit too orangey and oversaturated, so I wish I would have kept the cool one. But yeah, I'm trying to add all these different lighting fixtures around the build so it looks a little bit more natural. Usually I like to turn off the lights and let the fixtures do all the work. However, ever since the Happy Home Paradise DLC, I have been exploring different lighting techniques, like keeping the lights on but keeping it low so that way it's just like a glow rather than full on being lit by the lights. Or not the lights, by the artificial light. So yeah, I believe I am done with the lighting fixtures, and now is the time where I panic because I left the wallpaper to the very end, and there I thought the starry one looked really cute. However, I went back and just did the simple one and was between those two pinks, decided on the darker one because it gave more contrast. I feel like the lighter one was way too light for everything, and maybe this is because of the lighting. Again, I regret picking that warm tone. Wish I would have left it alone up to the point where I pick the wallpaper. The wallpaper might have looked way better with the cooler tone, less peachy. So that's my fault. I should have just left it alone, but I couldn't help myself. That's where I changed the rug. I thought the heart one ended up looking way nicer, and that heart actually reminds me of Powerpuff Girls rather than Barbie, but yeah, I left it because I thought it would be fun to have another novelty rug. And now I am pretty much done with everything. I decided against those books. I wanted to put a radio, which I honestly regret because now I have KK Bubblegum playing, or Bubblegum KK, I'm sorry, and it's kind of annoying. Hopefully y'all can't really hear it in the background right now. What I should have done was just put the radio and then no song, but I completely forgot I could do that. So right now we are picking an outfit for Brie. I want it to be really pink, so I'm going through all of the different pink options, but I ended up landing on a really cute dress that looks retro, because it's called retro dress. And yeah, that is the Barbie Dreamhouse build. Now we are going to go to that cinematic tour, which ended up being horrendous. The camera angles where they picked, I don't know if it's already selected specific sections that they show, but it was blocked by tons of the partition walls and appliances. So here you go, a really bad montage. And there you have it, the Barbie Dreamhouse. I totally forgot to record an actual outro, like me waving goodbye. I was trying to get some b-roll around the place and completely forgot, so this video will end kind of abruptly. Here I am kind of showing, well, trying to turn off the music, and then I realized I couldn't. But I do kind of like a 360 of the place so that y'all can see it one last time. However, there's not an actual like tour of the place. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I make videos every single Monday. I usually do island tours, well, dream island tours, and I also have been making some Happy Home Paradise videos. I also want to make some tips and tricks for beginners, so if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe so that you can get notified whenever I make a brand new video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!